July 11th is the DCU debut with Superman, written and directed by James Gunn, who we know from Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, the animated show, feature Commandos. He's bringing us the rebirth, if you will, of Superman. Now, we have so many incarnations of Superman, starting from the black and white days to latest of Henry Cavill. You have Brandon Roth with Superman Returns, which is pretty much a sequel to the Richard Donner films. So we're not going to review that. But we are going to review Man of Steel. And we are going to review Superman, the movie that came out in 1978, which showed us that a man can fly. And I'm going to tell you something about that. Wait till we get to the introduction. Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel.
I'm Adon.
Where we give a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert. This movie came out in 1978. I was in the theaters with Mom. I saw it back to back.
I didn't exist.
Exactly. Until like 6-7 years later. Then, yeah. But, and this came out right after, not right after, but a year later of Star Wars. Like the late 70s through the early 80s was the time to be a movie fan in multiple genres. Horror, thriller, action, superhero. I mean, granted, Superman was the one and only that really stood out, but then you have like Flash Gordon, other stuff, The Legend of the Lone Ranger, Zorro, blah, blah, blah. Like those kind of superheroes came out too.
Well, if you're talking about like from 75 to 70 to 85, some of the best films that we ever reviewed were like also in that time frame. Like Star Wars, right? You had Alien, Superman, Batman, Terminator,
Popeye, another comic book or comic strip coming to the movie
theater. We technically never reviewed that one, but it should be on the list.
No, we didn't, but we do it. But you guess what? I have it right here.
I watched it on Tubi not too long ago.
Stop watching it on Tubi. Stop the freaking commercials, man.
It's free. But anyway. Sponsor us.
Now, what was the original budget for this? And I believe it was like 55 million.
No, you're actually on point. It's estimated at 55 million.
And it made about over 300 million worldwide.
Yeah, 300, 478, and $449.
Damn, I'm good. That's a huge, for one, 55 million is huge.
It's not that's a huge budget in that time. And it is average now, if you will, for 55 million today is not unheard of. What about, to put in perspective, Godzilla Ground Zero. How much was that made again? Because I think it was like 15.
Yeah, it was like 15 million. Yes. Yeah. Unheard of in today's standard. And yet it was made for that much. And it killed in the box office.
Just to put a perspective here, I just went to U.S. inflation calculation and 1978 to 2025, 55 million would be the equivalent of 271,174 and 468.
And then the total in the sense of gross revenue?
Gross revenue, let's just say 300 million.
That'll be probably $1 billion.
But the number one spot right now is held by what? Avengers Endgame, right?
Titanic or Avatar? I think it's Avatar.
I'll double check that in a second. So it's actually, let me get the actual number. That's 1 billion. 481,492.
I called it again.
9.96.
Are you annoyed by me saying that I'm right so far?
I think it was like budget? 3 videos ago that I was right and you were wrong. So
shut
up. So what was it? Number one?
It's Avatar.
Oh yeah. Avatar is like at 2,923,710,708. Where Endgame was like
right behind.
Exactly. It's like it's just under 2.8.
Avatar became top number one again because of the re-release.
That shouldn't count.
It shouldn't, but they did because they re-released it right before the sequel.
Yeah.
That's why it became. But anyway, there's 3 versions of this. Like Apocalypse Now, when we talked with Berto Colon, Apocalypse Now has like 4 or 5 versions of it.
Yes.
Superman the movie has 3 versions. There may be even 4.
I think you might be closer to 4, yeah.
The theatrical release. And then there's a release that was done for the TV because there were scenes shot shown for the TV that we never saw in the theaters. I was like, whoa, what's this? And then what I saw was the over 3 hour version. And you saw which one again? You saw something.
I saw the one cut. I saw the one that's on HBO Max, which is the one that's 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Oh, that's the regular one.
Yes,
which is long.
It's extremely long, and there were scenes in it that I didn't remember as a kid.
I watched it on Max too. I watched the one I have, the 3-hour version one. I bought that separately, but some things should not be retouched through the editing, and some things need to be retouched and added through the editing.
Yeah.
Here on Superman the movie, 2 hours and 24 minutes. I don't remember being that long. That is a perfect edited movie. Just like A New Hope, Untouched is the perfect edited movie.
Here's the thing, and we harp about time a lot. In my opinion, 90 minutes can tell 90% of the movies you're going to watch out there. But when the movie's done, we'll just say right, it doesn't have to say perfect or whatever, it's just done hitting that fine line, meaning there's going to be some lulls, some highs and lows. It passes through and you get lost in that time. Even if it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes long, it doesn't hit that long, and you can feel that, and it doesn't feel like it. We've been in movies that we've seen and they're shorter than 90 minutes and it feels like 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's the editing.
Right. But Batman versus Superman, I like the extended version better than the original theatric version.
I'd rather go with the theatric.
See, for me, even though it's 30 minutes longer, it goes by quicker and it tells better story, where the theatric version, pacing is off. There's something it's not really sitting well with me. But with adding the 30 minutes, it does fit better. And other people feel the same way.
True.
I do like the 3-hour version. Granted, there are some things that are like watching someone drive for an additional minute, 30 seconds. Like that, they don't need to. Some things they just dwelled on. They let it linger a little bit longer. It's like, no, you don't need that. But then there are some stuff like with Lex and Otis, the bantering, it makes it even funnier. So, that was one of the best things of this movie, is not because of Christopher Reeve's performance, not just that, because he was phenomenal as Clark Kent and Superman. Phenomenal.
Oh, yes, he is very good.
But Lex and Otis, that relationship is so funny. Like, I love those. I'm going to paraphrase. I may butcher it, but he's like, Otis, you know what the importance or the irony of the number 200 is? It's your weight and my IQ. and it was so, catching that was so funny. And then you see how Lex, like, he's narcissistic, but he is intellectual. Granted, he's into real estate, and that's what I didn't like about this perception of Lex. When they carried it over into Superman
they make him less of a businessman and more of like a shyster criminal.
Yes, but he's also about real estate.
Yes.
In that movie as well. And here he's about real estate. He wants to destroy a part of California off on the San Andreas Fault so he can capitalize that and stuff like that. But, Otisburg. Like, he says it like 4 times, and every time he says it, Lex is getting annoyed and like, oh my God, it's just.
He was like, it was going to be a really small piece into like Otisburg.
But Miss Tessbacher, she has a part of land,
the only response, Otisburg. And the entire time, Superman's there just like, what is going on?
Yeah, I know, but that relationship is so fun to watch. Because again, like I was saying, his intellect is so high, and then he has to deal with these nincompoops. Even though he is very attracted to Miss Tessbacher, he finds her intellectually inferior.
He does find her inferior, but like, it's weird because she's not really that dumb. She's actually very smart.
She is, but it's his ego that
refuses to accept that.
Correct.
And then Otis is just diehard loyal, no matter
he's loyal,
what.
And boy, can he eat. Every scene he's eating that peanuts, candy apple, marshmallow, chocolate bar. Like every time you see him, he's eating something. It kind of reminds me of like if Robert Downey probably took that from it, because as Iron Man, he always will have something, eating something, a cheeseburger, grape nuts, or something like that.
Yeah.
What's also great about this, like Star Wars, you have no name for like the main cast. Christopher Reeve, he was a no name. He was a Broadway star.
Yeah.
Okay. Margaret Kidder, I believe she was a no name as well. Maybe she was doing television, stuff like that, no name. But you have Glenn Ford. You have the guy who played Perry White, who's part of the Little Rascals. Terrence Stamp. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando didn't want to do it, but he got, paid a gazillion to pay it. And Gene Hackman didn't want to do it because he thought, that was beneath him playing a supervillain in a superhero movie. But then Richard Donner tricked him in saying, like, listen, if you shave your mustache for this role, I'll shave my mustache if you're willing to do that. And Gene said, sure. And Richard Donner had a fake mustache on. So all you had to do was peel it off. Star Wars, you had like every other person, like not the main characters. Sir Alec Guinness, James Earl Jones as the voice. You have, goddamn, Tarkin, who was played by, skipping my name right now, my head right now. But you know what I'm talking about. And then Harrison Ford, he's also pretty known because he did American Graffiti, he did some TV spots, so people knew about him. Carrie Fisher, new to the scene. Mark Hamill, definitely new to the scene, but that's what made it special because he had nothing to go by with him. Like for me, after watching Superman and then watching Christopher Reeves in other projects, it got me excited to say, oh my God, Superman is in this? He's in Death Trap with Michael Caine. He was in Somewhere in Time, a beautiful love story with Jane Seymour. Have you ever seen that movie?
Nope.
Oh man, me and mom, every time it came on, we will watch it. When it was on HBO,
yeah,
before streaming all that stuff. For those listening, watching, if you have not seen it, watch it. Somewhere in Time, a beautiful love story. It's so sad at the end. But yeah, but go back with the 3-hour version. There are some jokes also that go on a little bit longer. And I was like, oh man, I wish they kept that in the original, or they did this, or like at the end when the missile crashes and you know the flood.
Yeah, you're talking about for the dam, the broken dam.
Yeah, before that, and the San Andreas fault broke.
Yeah.
There's a scene where houses are vibrating and about to top over, and people are running out of the houses trying to find a way to escape.
Okay.
And when Superman comes back and puts which is I find weird, he puts one spot and everything goes back in place beautifully. Okay, the houses, they're tipping over from the ground being all unbalanced. It goes right back into place. Kind of funny. Before the spinning of the world. You do know that Superman 1 and 2 was originally filmed back to back, right?
You know what? And that was the part that I was going to mention, because the opening sequence, setting aside the black and white scene,
yes,
for the opening sequence, which I thought was
great.
You like that?
Beautiful.
I didn't like that. I thought it was weird. First of all, I didn't remember it, so I thought it was added in.
Right.
And then it starts going into the sequence. I'm like, okay, I'm into it, and I'm like, wait a minute. I went back. I pulled out from the movie, make sure I didn't click the wrong one, because I'm like, that's General Zod and that's Ursa and Non. I'm like, this is 2. I didn't remember that in the first one.
Right. In Superman 2, they go back to that scene. They open with that scene.
But it's different edit though. I just started Superman 2 and it's a different edit. And I actually like this edit a little bit more than in the second one. But still, it's so wild to me because it threw me off. Because honestly, that was a big gamble. Because like if there's not going to be a Superman 2, you have a whole scene with Ursa, Non, and Zod.
Right.
That could be for nothing.
But it served this purpose because it showed like a little bit of how Kryptonians were in the sense of rule of law.
Yeah, I get that.
That was it, you know.
But I mean, the scene that was right afterwards kind of went into that too.
Yeah, but the thing is though, we know about if you know about the comics, you know about the Phantom Zone and all that stuff. So it addresses that fan base.
Yeah, I get that.
They're being sent to prison and stuff like that. And you have not General Zod, but you have Jor-El. He's not just the scientist on Krypton, but he's also politician or judge or whatever, a lawyer, if you whatever you call it, whatever the name is termed for that, wearing multiple hats.
True.
And I also had to find it funny because I had to put subtitles on because I always thought when General Zod is yelling at Jor-El, I'll have you kneel before me. I'll have you and your ass. His heirs. But the way he says it and the way he yells, it sounds like ass. I'll have you and your ass kneel before me. I was like, why is he saying ass? Even as a kid, I was like, I don't get that. But then I use it sometimes as heirs, but is not pronunciated correctly.
Well, because he has an accent. Yeah.
No, I understand he has an accent, but I'm just saying, it's like, and I believe I'm not the only one. I think other people did too.
I never, but you know.
Oh, okay, fine.
Order.
All right. But the original release, the editing, wow. Because it just goes by.
Let me put it this way. So,
okay,
back when I worked at Blockbuster Video, in the heydays of yonder years, there was a time where I had a coworker, he was a manager, and he never saw Superman. And we happened to have a Superman on 4K. Now, granted, this was while we were working, so I could not sit down and watch the entire thing. I started it on the overhead projectors.
Oh, cool.
Because it was like a day no one was coming in. And I started, and I'm like, just start watching it, bro. And I started watching it, and I just remember the dome coming up and doing that. And he's like, when was this made? And I'm like, 1978, man. He's like, holy crap. It looks so well. So well.
Yes. Yes, especially in 4K. You get it in 4K, forget about it. But yeah, and a lot of those are miniatures. The dam thing, those are miniatures.
You could tell actually about the miniatures from the dam thing, but it still looks good.
No, it still looks good. It gets the point. And I love like what Lucas did with Star Wars and his people in the sense of how to make things look realistic. They did that here so well. Of course, yes, you have the wire work, but they also have a floor projection that Christopher Reeve is standing on, and it looks like he's flying and going.
Yeah, because most of those shots are just an overhead camera pointing down.
Right, but it's done so well that you can't look like the way I looked at it. It's like, yeah, some of it looks out of place, but at the same token, it looks really good in a sense. Like when the camera's on the person, it focuses on the subject, and everything else around it kind of looks fuzzy.
Yeah,
a little off. And they did that here, and it looks great. When he's flying with Lois around the Statue of Liberty, and it looks a little fuzzy, and then they put the focus on the Statue of Liberty, and it is like crystal clear. All right, I get it, because now that's the camera, how the camera's working. That's how it would work. And even with the rope on him, when we see him and he takes off initially, holy crap! I was like, how? Because you can't really tell where the wires are. You can't, and he just goes so smoothly, and it's not a dummy, it's not a body double, nothing like that in the sense of a mannequin. It's him. And Superman Returns, which I got fed up with because they promoted like, it's Brandon Roth doing all this stuff. He's flying,
but you could see the CGI, and
the CGI is so heavy. Like he comes close to the camera. It's like, why are you using the CGI close on camera when he could have been Brandon Roth there close on camera, and then he pulls away, then he can put it back to CGI.
Now, to their credit, Brandon Roth pulled off a good-looking Christopher Reeves.
Oh, no, he did a great job. No, he did a great job as a Christopher Reeve impersonating Clark Kent, what have you. Yes, he did a great job. The story itself, but granted, I love the way they tie in that, and he starts talking to his son who's asleep. He pretty much says the same dialogue that Marlon Brando says to baby Kal-El.
Yeah, because they repeated it like several times. But
the father becomes the son becomes the father. Right. Bryan Singer, who directed Superman Returns, he presented the story to Richard Donner. He says, if Richard Donner doesn't like this, I'm not going to make it. I won't make the movie.
Yeah.
So he got the permission from Richard Donner to do it, which I thought was very cool. Granted, the movie is not that good.
I think it's better than we give it credit.
Superman Returns?
Yeah.
I have to see it again.
Because I just watched it, and I honestly, like, the first time I watched it, I was dogging it. But now I watched it, I'm like, it's better.
Fair enough.
It's weird that his eyes, because they use contacts for his eyes.
Of course, because Christopher Reeve had, like, stark blue eyes.
Yeah. And it looks so artificial on this one.
But did you notice, like, because they did the same thing first in Superman Returns, it's here. There is not one fight scene.
Because there's no one he can fight.
But still, there is no fight scene. This movie is so good, he does not throw a punch on anyone. Yeah. Nor does he freeze them. Nor does he use the heat vision on anyone. He doesn't. There's no fight. All he's doing is rescuing or stopping criminals.
Yeah, but if anything, like, he does even with the guy with the bullet, like when he gets shot.
No, nothing. He doesn't do anything. And I was like, holy crap, this movie, a superhero movie, where we know that Superman fights in the comics and cartoons, all the stuff, there's not one blow, there's not one fight at all. All he does is rescue and puts criminals away.
Yeah. And literally, like, all he needs to do is he just grabs them and just doesn't let go. That's all he does, really.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the only physicalness he did was toss Lex to a couch.
Yes, and that was when Lex pissed him off. Right. So yeah, that's the biggest fight scene.
if that is a fight scene, oh my God, there's another thing. When he debuts in Metropolis, and of course that's New York. A lot of those scenes are New York, and some are in London. That Daily Planet, that's in New York. I've been there. I've seen it. The Globe in the lobby, that still exists. I think that's on 34th Street on the east side. Yes. That's on 34th Street. Kimberly saw it too. I showed her. There are some faux pas. There are some great funny moments. We talked about that with Lex and Otis. Otis Berg. When he rescues the kitten.
Yeah.
Mommy, a man just saved so-and-so Casper from the tree. Well, What did I tell you about lying?
Yes, I heard that, and I was like, "Yo, she just slapped the shit out of her kid."
Oh my god!
Off camera.
I was like, what? Wow! I was like, child abuse. I was like, oh my god.
Here's the funny thing: Superman hears everything.
Yeah, he didn't hear that.
No,
he didn't hear that.
Here's the thing: I bet he heard that. It was like, ooh. He should have told that as a story to Lois, like in one of the articles. Listen, I save a lot of people. But this is what happened.
The performance of Christopher Reeve, that's me. Like, this is why he'll be my forever Superman.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christopher Reeve's performance as Superman, as Kal-El, as Clark, as Smallville Clark. Now, granted, Smallville Clark is not him, but Christopher Reeve dubbed it. He dubbed the voices to keep the continuity there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I love that part. Yeah, the kid who plays Clark, he has a nose job or prosthetic nose to be similar. He has to wearing the wig, yes. And that was a great scene too, in the sense where he kicks the football. Now, I know they didn't do it in the theatric, but they did it in the extended versions. And I thought it's really weird because the girl in the train is Lois Lane. The little girl that sees him in the binoculars, that he's running really weird.
Yeah, which that was one of my faux pas moments. Like, I did not like his run. It looked like he was sitting in a chair and doing this.
No, but he's on wires.
But his feet are like here.
They're not touching.
They're not touching. They're in front. And mind you, we watch a lot of kung fu movies where they're doing like the kung fu light foot technique and they're running on the air and stuff like that. It's one thing to be running on air. It's another thing to have your feet running in front of you, not underneath you or behind you.
But it also looked like stop motion. It looked stop motion, especially when he jumps in front of the train.
Mm-hmm.
That looked very stop motion.
Now they're running away with the smoke. That was cool.
That was cool. But yes, the thing is, that stunt, there's on the behind the scenes, he's on wire and he's running. And of course, they speed up the film to make it look like that. But he's doing the motion in air. So that's very hard to do in a sense. You can't really capture it. But yes, that is the young Lois Lane. And the mother is actually the Lois Lane from the television series, the black and white television series. Who reprises her, now she doesn't reprise her role, but she makes another appearance in Superman Returns. She is the one that Lex Luthor marries and she dies. She's the old rich baroness. Yeah, she's the one in that movie. So yes, so she's in it twice. And also in it twice is, well, no, not twice, going to Superman Returns, the bartender in Superman Returns. Mm-hmm. That's the original Jimmy Olsen from the black and white series. That was also with Lois Lane.
Wow. Okay, cool.
And George Reeve. Nice way to honor them for inspiring a generation, because that's an extended version. Mm-hmm. So I have a problem because she's about 7? He's about 17 or 18.
He says he's over 21.
Well, in an interview, but at that time, so he's like, let's say 12 years older than Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And now, though, they look at this like the same age.
But that's in the extended, not in the regular.
Right. But once you know that, it's kind of hard to get out of your head.
Gotcha. I get you.
It doesn't make sense because when he shows up at this Fortress of Solitude,
he's still a kid,
right? Mm-hmm. He's a senior, what have you? Or is he a senior? Because we don't know exactly.
No, you just know he's in high school.
Yeah, he's in high school. It's 12 years. He's in the Fortress of Solitude for 12 years.
Yeah,
he says that because Jor-El is telling him
he's teaching him all these things and the ways of his powers.
So it's 12 years. So he is learning his abilities. He's understanding. He's learning his history. He's learning also other things, that Jor-El is sharing with him. So that's 12 years. So say she's 17 and it's 12 years, or she's 7, excuse me, happened to be 7. She may be older, maybe younger. That's 12 years. So she's just barely 21. No, she's 19. If she's 7 and 12 years, she's 19. How the hell is she at the Daily Planet?
She's really good at her job.
And she looks a lot older than 19. But anyway.
Cigarettes kill, man.
Cigarettes.
They even comment that she's like, I know what you're gonna say, lung cancer. He's like, oh, thank God, not yet.
I very much like Pink, Lois. His performance is so freaking good.
Let's be honest, that is the most flirtatious Superman I've ever witnessed. I didn't realize how much he was smacking on girls until I rewatched this.
Girls?
Yo, yeah, Tessmacher too.
Yeah, but she hit on him.
She did, but homie was receiving and throwing back.
Well, he put the hand on her face, but that's about it.
Like, no, listen, he could have just been like, oh, thank you for getting the chain off. Let me go save the world. He's like, world hold. You kissed me.
That's true. That's true.
Like
You're
he
right
like
about, you're
even
right
like
about
he
that.
even shifted and like raised his knees. Like I'm
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
taking a
yeah,
moment.
yeah. You're right. Shit, you're right. But yes, he is flirtatious. Like the way he's talking, like, but it's like he's being himself. He's being the Smallville Clark, if you will.
Yeah.
He finds comfort. So the way he's talking to her, the way he has his hand by his lips, and it's just, oh my god, he embodies this character so well because Superman is a complicated character. Christopher Reeve did so well in capturing the many aspects. Even in Superman 2, he does a great job in that as well. Because in presence, he's his persona, a deeper voice, things like that. When he's news reporter Clark Kent, hey Lois, he has the big clothing, the tie is not fitted right, the glasses are a little lopsided, his hair is a little sloppy, and he has that slouch. And that moment when he picks up Lois as Clark and he wants to tell her, and he stands up so proud, and he said, it's not the time. It's not the time. So he puts it back on and slouches over. But you know how that stunt was done in the sense of him flying off and being Clark?
They cut off the camera. I don't know.
No, it's done in one shot, except for him as Superman. That is shot before.
Okay.
Is on a screen. So Margaret Kidder, Lois, is playing to that screen. He flies off and she says, well, what is Superman? Superman. And now Christopher Reeve's already behind the door dressed as Clark because that shot's already shot.
It's kind of like the same trick a lot of people will use for green screen nowadays, but
right
before that.
But you also have to think like she's in the focus. He's a little fuzzy. But I want to go also back to like other stars are in here. Larry, he was in I Dream of Jeannie and Dallas. He's the guy that gets mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Every time I hear Larry, I'm thinking Larry David.
Imagine him. Jackie Cooper was the Perry White. Larry Hagman, sorry. He was in Dream of Jeannie. Oh, Cliff Clavin from Cheers. He's the one when the missiles go messed up and he's at the control. He has the headpiece on.
Oh, I totally overlooked that.
Yeah, he's in it. He does the voice for Toy Story and all this stuff. And he's, the mailman in Cheers. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like, okay, so setting aside Superman, right? Even Gene Hackman, because as much as we're not liking the whole real estate shyster kind of angle, the movie does capture a lot of the essence of the stories. Like Jonathan Kent, before he dies, he starts talking, he's giving him the Uncle Ben speech, basically. Yes. And he's giving him the Uncle Ben speech, and he's like, I'll race you to barn, and then passes away.
He becomes the Uncle Ben.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And then like, which plays out to the end, which was like the whole, I have all this power and I still couldn't save him.
And that leads up to one of my favorite moments.
The wrapping the world around?
No, that's not my favorite moment. It's prior to that. It's when he releases his anger.
Rage yells?
When he rage yells after the Lois, because it's the same thing.
That is a strong moment. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to laugh at that. Looking back at it, I got emotional.
Well, here it is. He couldn't save his father with all the powers he had.
Yeah.
Someone he cared about, someone he loved. He loved Lois, even though she didn't know it, but he loved her. He had an infatuation with her. He couldn't save her. So all that, again, all those powers, and he could not do anything about it. All that pent up energy or anger. He had the anger from his father.
Yeah.
Still, from what happened then. And it floods back again here.
And you know what? And they say like a lot of great heroes are built in tragedy. And it's
yes.
One of my favorite Spider-Man storylines is literally from Ultimate Spider-Man. Is where Spider-Man died saving Aunt May.
Is that One More Day?
No. That we're talking about Elseworld. Long story short, his identity got revealed and all the villains were going after her. But he died in the process, and Aunt May's holding him, and so is MJ. And he's looking at MJ, and he's like, I did it. I saved you. I couldn't save him, but I saved you. So he was thinking about Uncle Ben, because he always had that guilt, even though he was so strong and he could do all this other stuff, he couldn't.
But also Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and No Way Home. Yeah, that moment again. He had relived that moment, and he was able to make it right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So those are very strong moments and like emotional moments, and this technically predates that,
right?
Which is so great.
But the thing is, in the comics, he's still alive.
Yes, he does die eventually.
Does not, okay.
Death of Superman. He has a heart attack.
Yeah, but he's still alive again, isn't he?
No, they let him be dead for a while, and then they rebooted the universe and they brought him back in one of the reboots.
But yeah, but this would be because the thing is, he was still alive and kicking in the comics when this movie came out. Yeah. But it was a great catalyst or a great arc for the Superman lore in the sense of what pushes him to become Superman or to do better. And like Smallville does a great job too. And Smallville, Pa Kent dies too eventually.
After like season 12?
Still, he dies. And Man of Steel, Pa Kent dies.
We'll talk about that one day because I have an issue about Pa Kent there.
No worries. But that Pa Kent and this Pa Kent,
two totally different people.
And Smallville Kent, yes, they're all different. Like he was like, we'll go real quick. He was like, hide your shit. Don't save people if you don't have to. Like all that stuff. Right. Where everyone else says, be the good in the world.
Yeah.
You have these powers for a reason.
You don't need to brag about it. You could just like say, help people when you can help people.
Right.
But I will say this. This also leads into arguably one of the worst moments in history for Superman. And I think it's also still a good moment. The whole wrap around the world.
Right.
A lot of people made fun about that.
Yeah.
I think even Neil deGrasse was like, yeah, that would destroy the world.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's a great concept, but in reality,
it would never work. First of all, like changing the axis and reversing the cycle to go back in time. I think that's more of a visual representation of what's really going on. And the whole stopping and returning the world back, that's him missing the point. He went too far and then had to go back to catch the moment. Now, the thing is, how do you stop the earthquake? I don't know.
Right. Well, this is where we can go. It's not captured in the 3-hour version either. It's not.
Yeah, because it made no sense.
Well, the thing is, there should be 2 Supermans.
Theoretically, you're right. That could be also the case because even in Flash, there is like 2 flashes at like.
So here we go. Here goes theory. Let's go theory. He goes back to Metropolis, meets Superman as he's flying out. Say, hey, you go here, I'll go there. You go to Hackensack, New Jersey, I'll go to California.
Yeah, but she even says there was an earthquake and there was all this other stuff.
Because it's not a different person. It's the same person.
Yeah, but Jimmy got left at the road.
Right, and the earthquake happened to him too.
Yeah, so wild. I mean, I get where you're coming from. They may not even need to meet because really he could like resolve some of the issues before the other one got there.
Right, because he could have spun it back before the launches came out, or the launch happened, able to stop it because they didn't have to kiss Miss Tessmacher.
Yeah.
So he stopped the one there. Then say that it just landed, so he's there sooner. So he's able to fix the San Andreas fault line sooner and repair things, and the earthquake still happens, but
just not to the extent.
Not to extent of where it takes Lois.
Okay. Wow.
But the dam happens like that. So maybe, right? Because it hits, or it could have been a regular earthquake. The thing didn't happen. It was a regular earthquake, and she's freaking out, because it was a really bad earthquake, and it didn't have to do with the missile attack, the missile landing. But as great as this movie is, there are also faux pas here. But before we go into that, I want to also go into, did we say a favorite moment for you?
I think we kind of did, didn't we?
For me, it's his anger release.
It's a strong moment. Yeah. Her being buried is actually
wild. That was so crushed.
Claustrophobia, yeah.
Well, not just claustrophobia, but that, because a lot of times when earthquakes happen, the surface, the earth breaks apart.
Yeah.
But then it returns. So she's getting crushed by that. So there's multiple things happening. That was still to this day, that's a very intense scene.
It's a terrifying moment.
Yeah.
Clark Kent being held up at gunpoint was actually pretty entertaining to me.
That's also captured in the Wonder Woman film.
Yeah.
And then they kind of honor it there.
The best moments are definitely Gene Hackman and Otis and Tessmacher. Those are absolutely the best moments. I was like, I guess my arm wasn't long enough, Mr. Mr.
Yeah, we were trying to write the thing.
He's like, you want to see a long arm? He's like, what? No, you want to see a long arm?
So like in the 3-hour version, they show a scene right after that, and Otis is like beaten up. Like in the later on, we see him in the regular theatrical cut. They're cowboys, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
and he has a few bruises. Before that, they show him another scene where he's like, his lips is bleeding, his nose is bleeding, he has a huge black eye.
It's pretty brutal.
It's bad. Yeah. Lex was bad. Any scene with those two together.
He takes off the wig at the end, and Otis is like.
But he knew. That's crazy. He knew.
Well, maybe it was he didn't believe that he would take off his wig.
Right, because the thing is, like, we see Otis earlier walking through a room of wigs.
Yeah.
He actually like resets one, like he replaces one and stuff like that.
But Otis is also a simple man. He's like, Otis, next time you give me a robe, wait until I'm out of the pool.
Oh, and then on the 3-hour version, they continue that scene.
Really?
Yeah, Lex starts walking out with the robe on, and Otis picks up the rope that's wet, and he starts like, he's doing this.
They got a great dynamic. And as much as they joke about being underground, that is actually a really nice place.
Yes.
You know how much they pay to live in a place like this? I'm like, bro, that's a nice place. Yes, I would need a sun lamp so I don't get depressed, but damn.
But the thing is, like, he's all about money and real estate, which is money.
Yeah.
But he is like frugal as well, because he knows that where he's living now is a lot cheaper than he would be up there.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. What's your favorite moment?
Was the Scream. It's the Scream release.
Absolutely. That's a good moment.
It's just that I love also the rebirth of Krypton, the Fortress of Solitude.
It's a good scene. Their practical effects are fantastic.
But the thing is, it's not just that, and it says like how it was done, the practical effects. Yes, he throws that crystal so far. I was like, dude, why don't you just go like that?
He's Superman. You can't just chuck it a little bit.
No, I understand, but then the way that comes up, and then like almost every incarnation of Superman, Smallville, Superman and Lois, the new Superman movie,
it's Superman pretty much inspired by this movie.
Yeah, except for Man of Steel is the ship. The ship is his Fortress of Solitude. Now, also, real quick, the music is scored by John Williams.
Yep, good musical score.
Oh my gosh, so musical. And it was funny though, like some of the music here also reminds me of Indiana Jones. There are some similarities.
I can see that.
Right? Not Star Wars. Star Wars is very distinctive. Is like there. Even though John Williams also did the score for Jaws, which is the 50th anniversary this year.
True.
June 20th was actually the official anniversary date. But I want to do a review on that. I have not seen it in a long time.
Thought about getting the popcorn bucket and just sticking it on my wall. Like I hunted him down.
But they were saying, like, for Indiana Jones, the musical score, you can say the music, Indiana Jones, it's kind of like that, right? They do it here as well. Look up in the sky, it's a bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's Superman. I was
like a jingle.
Fucker. Yeah, but I never thought of that until someone said that, like what John Williams did was like, he made the music lyrical.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And now, every time I hear that, it's Superman. Dun, 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 dun. How genius is that? Also, this is written or screenplay by Mario Puzo, who is known for the Godfather stories, who wrote the Godfather stories.
Okay.
He must have been a huge Superman fan because this came out almost near perfection.
I heard a long time ago that next to, religion, the Superman logo, Batman logo are probably arguably the most recognizable symbols in the world.
Well, Superman is a biblical story. They connected to Moses. In fear of being captured and killed, his family put him on a little boat, little thing you can underwater, and let him drift apart.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
And he is founded by another, like Egyptians or what have you. He is founded.
Yeah. Wasn't it they got adopted by the Pharaoh or something like that?
I don't remember the.
I didn't watch the cartoon. There was a movie.
10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments too. But anyway, he's founded, and Holy Moses. Have you seen that? Holy Moses?
No.
With Dudley Moore. Oh my God, we got to review that. That is so funny. It's up there with like Mel Brooks kind of story.
Okay.
But anyway, the parents, to save their child, they were able to put him on a cart and take him out, and hopefully someone rescue him, right?
Sure.
The L's, Jor-El and Kara-El, they put their son on a ship for a better life, the chance of a better life.
Correct. They also said that the sun and the ecosystem would keep them safe for the most part, but still, I get it.
No, but I understand that, but that's what they do. They sacrifice themselves in order for their son, their offspring, to live.
Correct. Because there wasn't enough time. They,
right.
Either we all die together or someone lives.
Correct. So that's how they use that parallel to it. And granted, the creators of Superman are Jewish, and the story of Moses is in the Torah. Now, even though this movie is so good, there are some faux pas, and it's more like nitpicking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I mean, we talked about some of them already.
Yeah. But one of the faux pas is when he presents himself to the world and the guy is climbing the building.
We're talking about the cape, or are you talking about something else?
I'm talking about the cape.
Yes.
When he flies past him, he falls.
Yes.
And he stands on the glass and he's waiting for him. And the cape is with him. It's not hanging.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like Adam West Batman. Let's climb that skyscraper, Batman. And what they're doing, they're really just flat acting.
I understand that. What's the cape's doing? It's hanging.
They're not hanging back.
Yes, they are.
Were they?
Yeah, there's people holding with rope. It's hanging. It's hanging.
I didn't remember that.
It's like real thin string. Excuse me.
Damn, they outdid Superman.
And so I mean, it's done so quick, but it's noticeable. Like the guy is falling. You fly past him. Okay, fine. You get onto the glass. The cape should be hanging too while you're standing perpendicular to the glass. You should be hanging. That's one faux pas.
It's still a good moment, but yeah,
it's still a great moment. It is still a great moment. The train in California when he's rescuing people.
Yes.
The train.
It still should have been derailed, but
it should have been derailed. But no, he does there. He puts his head down. The train is floating over him and over the track. Is they even touching the track?
That's why, because there's no physical way that it would just stay on.
Exactly.
Piggyback on that point, because I was talking to somebody one time ago because they never saw the original Superman, and they're like, he's so small, and because they're comparing him to like Henry Cavill. I'm like, yo, he's not small.
No, he's not.
He put weight on.
Correct. He was a toothpick.
He's massive, actually. He was like, in the movie, they said he's what, 215, 225?
225, 200, 225.
Yeah.
Even though Lois laughs at him. But no, he put it on 225. He put that weight on. He's like 6'4". He was like actually accurate, the height. It was it was comic book accurate of the height.
Yes.
And you know who his trainer was?
Arnold.
David Prowse, Darth Vader.
Oh, okay. He just wasn't as cut as like Henry Cavill, but he's a big dude.
No,
he got big.
He did. And it fits well. In reality, you don't have to be muscular for Superman.
When you're talking about Superman logistically, no. Superman could be like the world's thinnest or fattest guy because, and to even reference All-Star Superman, and Lex even says, he's like, you see this, Clark? This is real muscle built from like actual work. Unlike genetics, alien genetics, just enhancing from the sun.
Exactly, right. And have you seen Superman 2, the Donner cut?
No.
Okay. Even though they filmed it back to back, it wasn't complete.
Yeah.
The producers, what have you, were looking at a different direction. They wanted it more campy, and it became campy. But Richard Donner still had the test footage. So a lot of the test footage that they did with him testing with Margaret Kidder and other actors, what have you, Christopher Reeve was still skinny. The suit was baggy on him. They put those scenes in the movie to give the Donner cut, right? So I have it. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a little offsetting because it's like it jumps around from the film to the outtakes and what have you. So that's a little off, but it's still a good story. And the theatrical release does follow closely to Donner's cut, but again, it goes a little more on the campy side. Both are still good. Oh, this is nitpicking where like he goes to change, and I love the part when he goes to the phone booth, but it's not a regular, not the traditional phone booth that we saw in the comic books and cartoons where he changes. It goes to a turnstile, but like the pimp didn't see him before going in.
No, he did see him. He was like, "Woo, you clean up good." He's like,
"No." He goes, "Man, that's a mean ass suit, man. Woo!" But you're right there. You're parked with your hose by there, but you didn't see him go in and go out.
Mind you, people, when we say pimp, that's what it is in the credits. It says pimp. We're not stereotyping.
No.
That is the classification of the character.
No, it's not stereotyping. Plus, also because he has his girls right behind him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like, yeah. Were they named Hooker 1 and Hooker 2?
I didn't go that deep into it. I did see on there, the pimp. I would say this, considering it all in all, as far as the film goes, as many faux pas as it has, bypasses them with the overall quality. In the comics, Clark Kent is delivered as a baby. Here, this is an adolescent child.
Well, he leaves as a baby.
No, but I'm saying he arrives as a baby too.
No, more of an adolescent. No,
I'm talking about in the comics.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense because if a baby was to come into powers, it would destroy the Kents before it even knew what was going on.
Yeah, because they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to act. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Even though that one should still like be tearing up the place. It probably did.
Yeah.
And we don't know about it. Right. But that's a great scene too. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they can't have kids. They never had kids. They're too old now to have a kid, to procreate.
Yeah.
This comes along. She wants it to have a kid, right? And he's like, babe, we're old. It's past our prime.
We're not there.
Change the tire and it's a mishap and he just stops it. That's a perfect scene of showing the powers of this baby. And listen, his death too. We talked about it earlier, but his death was also shy of perfection in a sense.
Yeah.
And
it's such a subtle thing. But it hits home really well.
Yeah. Okay, that leads to my faux pas.
Finally.
Lois.
Okay.
She dies.
Yes.
He didn't try CPR. I can understand him not doing CPR to his father because he's just like shocked and stuff like that. But he's presented with a similarity or a similar situation. He could have done CPR on her.
Well, there's two ways to approach this.
Instead of spinning the world. Instead of spinning the world, which is a great effect, but he could have done CPR on her.
So there's two ways to approach that mindset. Either A, she's been dead too long.
We don't know that.
I mean,
he doesn't know that.
He clearly has X-ray vision to see her lungs and see like the inner workings of how certain things are.
But there's
the other perspective, right? CPR doesn't. It's just a method to try to keep the body going. It's still dead. Like it could get jump started. But
but that's what I'm saying. He could have done that.
But here's the thing: while doing CPR, is very common to break ribs and injure the even though you're trying to save a life, it's very common to break it. Now put that with the power of Superman.
Just the finger, one finger.
It would have to be that, but then he has to blow air into her lungs.
He wouldn't know how to do it. Come on. He would know how to do it. He would know how to put the right stuff because now every time he blows air is cold air.
I don't know.
He wouldn't know how to do it.
I haven't seen him blow up a balloon yet.
But I'm just saying
so every time he blows up a part of the balloon, pop.
Right. Now, granted, if he did the CPR, we would have not gotten that primal scream. We have not seen the world spin. We have not seen him.
Well, that's to say if she lived.
Right.
She still could have passed away.
But yeah. And then again, when he comes back and after he puts the things back in place and she's like,
and I think he knew about time travel from his father because there was two scenes in the movie where they talk about you can't mess with the history of mankind.
Right, and from the primal scream.
Yeah,
from the but then that was great about that scene too because you're hearing two fathers.
Yeah,
speaking to him.
Correct, but the first time they say that is when in those 12 years that you mentioned.
Yeah,
and then here. So at first when I first heard about that, it's like you don't mess with their history. That's talking about. Don't mess with them as a society now. But now that hindsight being 2020 and whatnot, that's really talking about don't go back in time.
There's more faux pas that's escaping me right now.
But we don't have to hit them all.
I know. But also like in the 3-hour version and the television extended version, when Superman comes in to find Lex. Oh, I got my spin. I found my not just the spin, but in the theatric, he goes in and finds Lex right away.
Yeah.
In the 3-hour version and the TV version, there's a moment while he's walking towards Lex. Lex throws bullets, like multiple like firing range at him. Fire, cold. Like he's doing everything he can to stop him. And all he's doing is walking. He's like, what the heck is that?
Oh, so those are basic. So that's either A, doing everything he can to stop him, or B, just testing the theories of like what is his vulnerabilities.
Both.
And showing off the traps that he has.
Well, he knows, but he does know, which is weird because that's probably why they edited it out, is because
he already knew.
He already knew through the interview.
Yes. But at the same time, Lex is such a braggart that like all the people I've showed these traps to are dead. So why not show it to someone who won't die?
Maybe, but I like it. I like that moment. I like that he's being tested.
Yeah.
Or like you said, like, let's see if it works. What have you? Let's see if it's true.
Trust but verify. True.
Right. So here's my faux pas. The kryptonite.
Yeah.
That's on him on a chain.
Yes.
That he's in a water.
He can still float.
He can still float.
Because that's a deep pool.
He can still float. And he's like taking the chain, trying to break it. It's right there by his eye level. Just let it go.
It's too high. It's too high.
No, I mean,
can't get it.
Or that, or he couldn't press. But the thing is, also, he could just like put his head down deeper and let the chain just fall off him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unless the water is like electricity, and then it intensifies the Kryptonian powers or kryptonite powers.
I got one better than that. Same scene. Tessmacher. One throw, perfect aim, hits the drain.
Oh, I don't mind that. That I don't mind. I thought it was kind of cool. Well, it didn't go right into the drain. Like it went towards
slid, and got in.
Well, the chain took it down. I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
That's like a backhanded basketball throw.
Well, I don't think she meant to do it on the be like that. It just happened to. She just tried to throw to get out of the way, and it happened to land there. So I take it that. But it's just my thing is like it's right here. He's like right like the kryptonite is kissing him in the face, and the chain's right there, and he's like, oh.
Maybe that's why he gets weaker, because it gets right to his face level.
Maybe that every time he exerts any kind of strength,
it drains. He doesn't charge. It just drains him faster.
It just drains him faster. Maybe. But at the same token, he's in water. Now, I understand it if Lex put the chain like double looped it, like it's almost choking him.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But he just put it on him. He falls head first in the water. The chain could have come, the kryptonite could have just fallen right out after he landed in the water. But no, it stays there. That's just part of one of my faux pas on that as well. And the way that Gene Hackman Lex screams her name,
Tessmacher,
like with such anger. It's like what he does physically to Otis, he does verbally to this Tessmacher.
It's verbal and emotional, yeah.
Right?
But like, he always drops that miss in front of it. He's like, Miss Tessmacher. Like, he's respectful.
He's respectful. Well, they all do, right? And then how cold is he? But Lex, my mom's in Hackensack. Shakes the head. Oh my God, you're so cold, bro. You're so cold.
He's like, I get it. He's like, not enough time.
So cold. Oh, Jesus Christ. And then like in the 3-hour version, the whole missile debacle, that's extended. Get the president. Oh my God. And it's like all this stuff is like unnecessary. Listen, we've been talking about this long enough. I can talk about this even more and more because I think a lot of the stuff is funny. Like the boat thing, when the guys are on the boat, he's on there. And the guy hits him, bad vibrations because the guy's shaking. but the guys inside the boat, they're counting the money. They're not even counting. They're just looking through the money because they're like, it's like the old like Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny kind of thing.
I mean, I've seen counting techniques where they're like do like this and they're going like this, but like boom.
They're not.
Boom.
That's not. They're not counting. They're not counting. They're playing with their money.
So what would you rate this, bro?
Well, on Rotten Tomatoes, still to this day, with 76 reviews by the critics, it is scored at 93%. By the audience, which is over 250,000, it is scored at 86%. I dare say 95. I even go higher.
I think 95 is fair. I get where the 93 is for the critics. The film is dated. I'm not going to lie about that. But 95 does seem a good score. If you want to go higher, you can go higher. But I think 95 is a good score. As dated as the film is, it is really good. I would say right off the bat, without prompt, is worth a watch. It holds up and it's worth a own. 4K. If you can get this in 4K, in my opinion, that's the way to go. HBO Max has it in 4K. It looks crisp. There's only a handful of scenes that are like grainy, and that's just stock footage, but it's still really good.
Well, for me, the grainy part is more like when they do it, like the main focus is here and the grainy is behind them. That's where I see the thing, the graininess. But for me, it's 95 for multiple reasons. The superb performance of Christopher Reeves, the great, outstanding acting from Gene Hackman, who did not want to do it.
Yeah.
The bantering, the chemistry with Lex and Otis and Mrs. Tessmacher. You have the relationship or the chemistry with Lois and Clark. Perry White is awesome in this as well. Like everyone knocks it out about Jimmy Olsen, the nerd geek. He's like misplaced, not as misplaced as Clark is, because the way they perform Clark in here, he does the performance so well that no one would expect him. No one will give him a bat of an eye. They will not see him. He's just lost in the people. True. We saw that when he's trying to get an elevator and no one's stopping him or helping him to get an elevator. There's
he's
like, hey,
going up, and they're like going down, man.
No, he says going down. Oh, up. But then he gets other people. He gets other people trying to talk to. They're ignoring him, and he looks around. He's by himself, and then he just hits the elevator, and then he rescues Lois.
Yep.
So that's what's great about that. With Henry Cavill, he plays Superman and Clark the same way.
Well, here's the thing. I think that was also because I feel like the Superman character changed for Zack Snyder after the first one. I know he wanted to characterize him in 3 films, but like Man of Steel to Batman versus Superman to Justice League, starkly different Superman.
Well, he died.
Yes,
he was dead.
Even at the beginning,
Justice League.
Even at the beginning of Batman versus Superman, he's a different Man of Steel than he was at the first one. Like there was
Man of Steel or Clark Kent.
Characterization of Superman is what I'm talking about. Man of Steel.
Well, so to me,
he's a different Clark Kent.
See, to me, I feel he's the same. His persona is just like machismo. We gotta get him, Perry. We gotta get the thing. It's like,
well, he's just more like he's kind of like the Iron Man approach. Like he doesn't hide his identity as well. Lois Lane already knew who he was.
That's the thing. That's the bad thing. But we'll talk about when we do our review on Man of Steel. We'll talk about those things. Because to me, there's some editing issues. Where here the editing issues was on point. They did a great job. They cut it when it needed to be cut. They moved on when it, and they stayed when it had to be stayed. But again, for me, nostalgia. I still remember when I first saw it in the movie theaters. Our cousin George, he came to the second showing. As we were leaving, he and his family were coming in. So we said, Mom, can we stay for the second one? So we just stayed for the second one. And we sat next to each other. We watched it again. We didn't buy another ticket because it was not assigned seats.
Yeah.
And it wasn't packed like it would be like today for certain films. So we just stayed there and saw it again. He's my Superman. Everything was so well done. The miniatures, the special effects, the practical effects, all that stuff is on point. It's up there with me with Star Wars. To me, it's worth the watch. It is worth the own. I will even get all versions of them so you can really see. Like the 3-hour version, yes, is long. They extend some scenes a little bit too much, not unnecessary, but there are some great comical moments as well that's missed out. There are some more exposition in there as well. So that's what's nice about it. But a 2-hour and 24-minute movie is also perfect. And this movie is just shy of perfection. All right, guys, that is our DC-ness review of Superman the movie. Have you seen it? I think you have already. But what was your favorite moment? Who's your favorite actor, performance? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Until next time, will be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adon.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.
You got me. Who got you?
Statistically speaking, it's still safer to fly. Maybe not today.
Maybe not today.